Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Demon Slayer's Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, which is on episode 7. This episode right here was actually pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to the very last one. And there are some true confirmation rumors, which I will talk about next week, because there's no point in talking about it now, because it has yet to be 100% confirmed. Although it may look like it's 100% confirmed, I just see it as social media rumors whatsoever. Guess we're about to find out possibly next week or so. Hopefully, it's not the case, but I'm afraid it may be because that's just how it is. Yada, 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 whatever. So, if anything, let's just get this started right away, okay? Let's go. We have to it that Tanjiro manages to push the boulder, etc. Same goes with Inosuke while he says tempura. As for Zenitsu, he is given a letter by his bird Chuntaro about the situation. As for Tanjiro, he is very much exhausted and sweated so much, and that he's gonna die of dehydration. But Gyome, the stone Hashira, or he is called the strongest Hashira from what I understand in the rumors of the anime, ends up showing up and gives Tanjiro some water. He therefore acknowledges Tanjiro for his selflessness of having to choose the villagers over his sister. But Tanjiro says, "No, I'm gonna say it straight to you right now. Nezuko made me choose. It wasn't my decision alone. That kind of thing." Either way, Gyome actually accepts Tanjiro, and we have to Tanjiro ask but why are you so acknowledging me that much? And we get to see Gyome talking to Tanjiro that he was just like him, I guess in a certain way the way how he explains it, he decides to tell Tanjiro about his own past, since he was worthy of it. We get to know that Gyome himself was actually taking care of many children, and eventually they all loved him and worshipped him, I guess, that kind of thing. Eventually, that one child ends up breaking a certain rule and did not come back and ends up betraying them just to save his own life, The wisteria incense that Gyome had outside to protect them all while they are sleeping, it all gets destroyed or burnt out, This not only gave the demon come in to bypass, have no problem with the demon, but kill the children as well. We have to it that Gyome was trying to protect whoever is left, etc. But unfortunately, the sad thing about this is that the children he was left protecting, that was left for one, 3 of them will not listen to him and gets killed. Eventually, we have to it that he had to protect a little girl named Sayo, which is a 4-year-old girl. Eventually, he ends up having to manages to protect her from the demon, but unfortunately, I'm afraid Sayo did not get what was going on, and I guess it's just a psychological thing that she suffered from. She ends up having to betray Gyome, saying that he's the one that's been the killer, Although the way how I look at it, etc., and trying to understand it, it really sucked at that moment, because the demon's corpse and body disappeared after sunlight, because that's just how it is, And by that time, he was sent to jail and was close to being executed if it wasn't for the master's intervention, By that time, we have to it that, Gyome just wanted some gratitude from the girl, but unfortunately was unable to say it at all. And we have to it that because of Gyome's experience about being betrayed, no matter how good or virtuous a person can be, when the push comes to shove, they reveal their true nature. And that's kind of sad and very relatable, even though being relatable to the real world is never really fitting for everybody, because that's just how it is. But yeah, the way I look at it, sometimes when push comes to shove, a true person's nature or by instinct will reveal itself. Sometimes they want to protect their own life, and sometimes they just want to betray others for their own greed and selfishness. That's just how it is. But Gyome, on the other hand, believes in Tanjiro and actually wants to help him, and that he actually calls him a good kid. Eventually, we have to it that Tanjiro talks to Inosuke and Genya a bit, and it was kind of funny stuff. We have to it that and that Genya has yet to actually even move one boulder, one show yet, And Inosuke was actually close to being done, and We had to it that Genya says, well, he can't really use breathing techniques, and Inosuke mocks him for it, and it was freaking funny stuff. They end up fighting each other, which I thought it was pretty hilarious, but, the way how they fight is just freaking hilarious. I always wonder what would it be like for Inosuke and Genya to interact with each other. And I guess because they're almost the same person, they end up nearly killing each other whatsoever. But that aside, we have to it that Zenitsu was actually just sitting on the boulder right now. Tanjiro decides to give him some fish. We had to it Zenitsu. It looked like he's being serious about his training and that he has to handle it, Although it looks like Tanjiro wants to help out a little bit more, but Zenitsu's like, don't worry about me. This is something I have to do. That kind of thing. Tanjiro, respecting his boundaries, decides to leave some fish for him to eat and decides to take his leave, because Tanjiro finishes training. We get to see Zenitsu like bleeding very hard a bit, from his head down all the way to his eyes or mouth, He says there's one thing I have to do no matter what. And it has to involve that letter that he was given by Chuntaro, And by that time, we get to see a scene that he has this letter in his hand and that he crushes it very badly, knowing that he has to do it. The way I look at it, this is a different Zenitsu than we know, because we don't really know what really happened with Zenitsu at all, honestly, but one thing's for certain, that letter actually changed him. Whatever the situation is, he's already on the verge of wanting to get this done, Tanjiro goes to his next training ground, which he sees Sanemi and Giyu fighting each other. He believes that something bad happened and tries to make it up with Red Bean Mochi with Sanemi. Sanemi gets really annoyed and ticked and ends up punching Tanjiro for ticking him off, further, whatsoever, whatever. We had to it, Tanjiro and Giyu end up talking with each other for a bit, etc. But we had to it that that Giyu doesn't know how to talk with Sanemi, and that's just how he is. We don't really know. One thing's for certain is that Sanemi gets really annoyed by Tanjiro for what he says, and that he just wants to beat him up, but somehow he's like, what is with that kid, dude? He's such a brat and hard to raise. But we had to it that Sanemi ends up getting attacked by something, and he ends up squishing the freaking the eyeball of a demon, which I believe belongs to Upper 4, We have to it that Sanemi's like, hold on, what's going on? He goes like, oh, we've just been infiltrated, And we have to it that it looks like to me that we go to a scene with Ubuyasuki being cared for by his loved one, I guess, or wife. We have to it that we get to see a man in a black cloak entering the freaking mansion where Ubuyasuki is, and they end up greeting each other and realizes, knowing that it is inevitable, but he decides to greet him anyway, saying, hello, nice to see you, Kibichi Muzan. And we had to, it's like, man, you look hideous, Ubuyasuki, and the episode ends off there. My gosh, dude. If there's only one thing I have to complain about, and I hope no one gets really angry about me, is Muzan walking or Ufotable animating the walk of Muzan for that long, dude. I mean, let me go back, okay? We get to see Muzan at the freaking 25-minute mark, 25 minute mark, somewhere around there, around the 25-minute 40-second mark, I believe, that kind of thing. And that thing has been going on for for a while. Even after the ending song was played, minus that certain amount of minutes, and then it showed Muzan walking so slowly. I'm thinking about okay, if there's anything I have to complain and nitpick about, I hope no one gets mad at me, is Muzan walking to Ubuyasuki and greeting him. I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, Ufotable, but seriously, I think you wasted too much time and money just by doing this scene. At least try to get to the point. Sometimes it could be frustrating. Sometimes it could be nice and good, depending on the situation. But at this point, it's... I know what I'm saying is stupid, and I'm complaining, I'm ranting. I usually don't do that, unless said otherwise. But hey, man, that's just how it is, I was kind of not very satisfied with how it went with the last few minutes of the episode, but yeah, anyways, looking forward to next episode. From what I hear, it's the final one, and then after that, there are 100% rumors in the social media, which they don't really know how to learn how to shut up these days. Sorry, just saying the truth, but that's my fault for having social media in the first place, so who am I? I don't even know why I'm even complaining. Yeah, that's just me being an idiot all the time. But okay, enough of me ranting and blabbering on for so long. Next week, final episode, just said that. And hopefully there'll be some 200% confirmation that there's a movie trilogy that's supposed to finish off Demon Slayers, which I will give my thoughts about that if that confirmation rumor is true by the time I finish the episode of Demon Slayers, final episode of Demon Slayers next week, So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm off as Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!